All right. Just a little tour. Well, a little walkthrough of some of the stuff I have now. This bike here, 2013 KTM XCW. I bought it last October in 2018. Good running trail bike. I upgraded the drivetrain. New bearings in the swing arm, shock. I need to get some brake pads. I have no brakes right now. I did rebuild the master cylinders on the front and rear. Good running bike. I would like to take the motor apart and maybe go through it. I mean, it seems like a good running bike, but you know, used bikes, yeah, you know how that goes. And then here's a bike I know I've talked about. This is my 2007 XCFW. Motor's out. Frame. I want to fix this up and sell it. And I do not like selling a bike that is dirty. I like to go over it, make sure bearings are greased, and if the bearings aren't greasable due to them being worn out and junk, I would like to replace them. I want the customer, whoever buys this bike, to have a tight running bike. I think it looks great. Shock frame, I didn't powder coat it, just gave it a real good cleaning. The bike itself has a tubeless in the rear. The tires are still all right. I don't really get to ride this one too much once I got my YZ 250. I got these Tusk axle adjusters, a new nut, new wheel bearings in the rear. Those were definitely shot. This little piece here was replaced. I'm gonna bleed the brakes just out of general maintenance. New sprockets and chains. Pretty good shape. Now over here is the motor. It's time for a valve job. So I've been cleaning the motor. See how clean it is compared to the rest of it. I use this Eagle One mag wheel cleaner. Works awesome. Used it on the radiators. Make them look nice and shiny. I just want to go over everything. New top end. The head is in the basement, which I'll show you here in a minute. Yeah, so I just like to have my stuff in running order where the customer doesn't have to go out, buy bearings, buy lube stuff up. I want it to be able to be ridden as soon as they get it. Now, as far as me cleaning it, yeah, I mean, you can see some scratches on it. It's a dirt bike. Still clean. I polished up the gas tank a little bit, as you can see. I mean, it looks pretty damn good. Cleaned the frame. I want to try to make the mechanical aspect of this bike to be 100%. You know. So I'm not going to go out and go powder coat to sell it. I'm not going to do that unless it was really, really needed. I want to, you know, you got to take care of your stuff, and I can't stand when you go on Facebook, Craigslist, and there's an ad for a dirt bike that's over $1,000 and it is muddy as hell. I pretty much usually don't even look at the ad. just because I know it's going to be a bike that's not well taken care of. There's the pipe for that KTM. My motor, like I said, it has new piston rings in it. I want to get the valves. I want to get the head done. The carburetor, I want to get that tuned up. And that's about all this bike will need. I don't think I need to buy anything else for the bike. I don't believe so, as of right now. So, as far as dirt bikes go, I'm into mountain bikes. This was my downhill rig. She is a 2010 Intense 951 Elka suspension. This frame is up for sale, and I'll show you what I got to replace it. Nothing new this time. I like this bike. Sweet. And then we're gonna come into here, start collecting some vintage mountain bikes. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I got that from a guy in Pakistan that makes little models to match. The Cannondale Super V4000 downhill bike from 1997. All original. It's a bike I wanted when I was 17, 16. 20 some years later, I am an owner of one. My one buddy that died a couple years ago, when we started racing downhill, he had one of these. It was an awesome bike for back then. Then I acquired this GT carbon fiber frame. Just look at that. Look at that suspension. Yeah, this is the GT 19. I'm gonna say, if I recall right, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's a 1998 GT STS 1000. This was when carbon fiber frames were, I want to say, experimental stages for companies. I mean, check out that way that aluminum wraps around. That's pretty sweet. I always wanted one of these bikes. I finally acquired one. Spinergy wheels, the red Panaracer tires on it, XTR V brakes, no disc here. Still great. Core stem, XTR levers, of course an XTR crank. Very nice bike. But now, coming here, oh God, what do we got? YZ250. This is a 2008 YZ250. Yeah, it's plain Jane looking. I bought this used as well. But inside that little piece there is an Eric Gore 295 kit. I did a lot of stuff to this bike, as far as I just tore it down to the frame. I got headset bearings, forks redone, new cables, new throttle tube. Oh man, I tell you what, if you guys want to have a good feeling throttle, buy yourself a new throttle tube. It's amazing. I rebuilt the front and rear brakes, master cylinder, oversized Tusk brake rotor, awesome. Tusk brake line. Now, I didn't take the motor apart yet, didn't get into all that. I didn't buy the restyle kit like everybody has to have on their YZs. But one thing I really need to get, I just a little short on money right this second, is an 18-inch rear wheel, because I use this for woods riding. But I did get new tires. Use Brenthel sprockets and chains. No, take that back. Brenthel sprocket. I got a Tusk gold chain. It's an O-ring chain. My bike came with the Lightspeed carbon fiber chain guide. I got new rollers, a new shifter, which I don't like. It wore out quickly. It stripped out. Cleaned the carburetor, because that's what you do on any bike. Yeah, I replaced all the bearings on this bike. The shock, upper and lower bearings, swing arm bearings, and all the linkage bearings. New air filter, carb cleaned. I like this bike. It doesn't have a hard hit like a stock YZ250, but oh, and I also forgot to mention there is a Steely flywheel weight on this bike. The bike seems to run good. I haven't rode it this summer. I've been working out of town. I need to put this, just a skid plate. I've been just putting that off, because I'm debating on if I actually want to take the motor back out, tear it down, you go through all the gears, you know, split the cases, and double check. This is what you get when you get a used bike. Doesn't mean it's used that it's junk. That's not what that means at all. The exhaust, it's a little rusty. The guy didn't take care of it too well. I rebuilt the forks, new bushings, the whole Pivot Works kit. I think they're leaking again. Something about Yamahas. So we're gonna go over to this little guy. 2000 YZ125. I bought a brand spanking new. I didn't really do a whole lot other than powder coat the frame, get plastics, rebuild the forks, kind of like to split the cases, probably get new seals and stuff in the motor. Just always a good running bike, always. Nothing really to talk about on this bike, 'cause it's fairly stock. I got the V-Force Reeves, FMF pipe, new plastics. It's a good bike. I just didn't want to sell it. This is my first brand spanking new dirt bike. Only brand new bike I had, and I like it. It's a little different. I might maybe build some wheels for it. Get the hubs Cerakoted. I mean, they're like shitty looking. Like, ugh. Now, I don't think it's a bad looking bike. Now over here, we're talking vintage mountain bikes. This is an Intense M1. Magura hydraulic brakes. We believe this may have been a pro racer's bike. Don't know the year. Don't know. But there's a lot of cool stuff on here. I will have to make a better video on that. That's a my collector. So if you remember the 951 frame, this is a Rotec. This is a 2005. 5 years older than the this is a Rotec RL9, 2005, 2006. I recently acquired. I purchased. I've been wanting one of these bikes. They are supposed to be an amazing bike, and I'll be honest, I've had a mock-up of it. I bounced up and down on the suspension, and it feels as if the design of this is going to be way better than the VPP virtual pivot point that Intense had. Not saying it's a bad bike, but for my preference, I didn't like the feel. And my buddy had a Santa Cruz V10 virtual pivot point, and I think they used that design way better than the Tense did. His bike felt way plush. It felt like it used up all of its travel. And I even, on the 951, I even got that Elka shock, and it made it feel way better, but still was never 100% happy. And this is my everyday ride right here. It's just a Trek fuel stock, except for them pedals, water bottle cage, fender. It's a 2017. Nothing spectacular. Dropper post is amazing. I love them. 27-inch wheels. So 250R. I don't even know what I want to do with it. Part it out. There's my head for the KTM. Other parts, skid plate. I'm going to clean that up. My exhaust. Got an extra exhaust that came with my KTM, the 2013 KTM XCW. Just stock 2000 YZ 125C, an FMF header for the KTM. When I sell it, I'll probably give it to whoever buys it. Kind of rather sell it separately, make a little extra on it, but I don't feel like going through all the hassle. And this is just a bike I have sitting in my house, 1980 XR80. Nothing great. And just this Cannondale. It's a Profit MX1. I have it up for sale. Nice bike. I had this thing where I wanted all small bikes, but now I feel too cramped up on it. I have it for sale. My buddy's supposed to help me sell it so I can get some other bikes. And as far as the Roadtech originally had a bike, the MK1 downhill bike. I am going to be acquiring one of those, and I will post a video of that. Well, some extra parts, random little parts I got there. Handlebars from a mountain bike. These exo shifters, which are amazing. I don't know. That's the stuff I've been dealing with. I like to get something done with this garage floor, like a coating or rubber tile. Something not too time consuming due to the fact that I work. Don't have all the extra money like some people do. And this is how I buy my projects. I'll buy, a couple bikes and then I'll sell one. So this bike here, whatever I sell for, it's gonna be used to do the maintenance on this bike, the YZ. And I like to tear down that motor on the YZ. Then I'm hoping to sell this as well. This bike, so I can get that RL9 downhill bike fixed up. But I like to make a video trying to, with the RL9, going and taking my time showing you guys just, hey, I want to get it powder coated. I'm pretty tight with the owner of Roadtech. He will hook me up some graphics, bearings. Yeah, it's just a little tour. And there's the rest of the three-wheeler. Three-wheeler is I don't know. I wish I could just sell it and get it out of my hair. It's taking up too much space. Yeah, anybody wants a nice downhill bike? Good frame, good shape, great shock. It's a size small. Oh, we'll see what happens. All right.